Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, hello.
I'm Inconsistency. This here is
I'm Werewolf.
What's up, Werewolf?
Hey, my man.
All right. So this is a Midgame Life Crisis. That's the name of our channel. This is a new podcast and a channel which will be covering a bunch of gaming stuff because that's our main passion.
Anything geek related.
Yeah, but sure, 100% movies and whatever, technology, whatever. But it will be mostly gaming related. And we will have short-term content coming, not just a podcast. The podcast would be a monthly thing, and the short-term would be a lot more frequent. So Midgame Life Crisis. Why do we call it Life Crisis? Very simple. We're both middle-aged, old gamers, old decrepit gamers.
Yeah.
And most people when they get their midlife crisis, not game crisis.
Yeah.
They they go and buy an overpriced, expensive sports car
or cheat on their wives with a girl half their age.
Exactly. But we're really wild ass people.
We went crazy.
Yeah, and we started a YouTube channel. Yeah. So welcome to Midgame Life Crisis.
What happens with the game?
Yes, it does. Wolf, I got a question for you. Wolf here is a married guy, right?
Yes.
Married with children.
Last time I checked.
Yes, I'm single, so we're both around our 40s. And Wolf here has a long history as a DM, a dungeon master. Basically,
yeah, I've been playing D&D since I've been playing on the computer. It's about the same time.
Yeah, wow. So really early.
Yeah. I think my older brother, he's got like 7 years older, much older. Anyway, my bro, he got me back then D&D came in box sets.
Right.
You had like a beginner set and the advanced set and the expert set,
right,
and the master set or whatever.
By the way,
you had the DM set.
Sorry for cutting you off. The reason I'm asking you specifically about your DM experience, you're basically an expert DM, is because of Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, we're going to discuss
BG3.
We
didn't mention it. Yeah, BG3 is one of the biggest subjects we want to talk today because we're going to give a unique perspective of a guy who's been playing Dungeons and Dragons for many years and also DMing, being like a dungeon master. So he has the experience both as a player and as a DM. Go ahead.
We kind of touched on this before we started, but I think that being a DM on a tabletop D&D game is very, very different than a CRPG. So as much as I agree with you, I can give a unique perspective of a veteran D&D player, many of the editions. This CRPG is completely different. The narration is completely different, and the expectations from the players and how you build the story for the players.
Yeah,
it takes completely different angles because this is much more railroaded. You can't have it any other way in a game.
Sure, but still,
the craziest shit that happens in D&D comes from your players.
Of course.
Because they are unpredictable.
Yes, of course. Of course. But still, BG3, Baldur's Gate 3 is known to be, to this day, probably one of the closest representations of playing D&D with your friends.
Agreed.
It's like,
playing D&D.
Yeah.
With your friends. It gives you, it's very, very loyal to the
5th edition
feeling of playing D&D.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what edition. Of being a part of a fantasy world where you can actually do whatever you want.
But the rules
games were very hard in grasping that.
Yeah.
The freedom of action.
Yes.
Yes. This one, and this is why it can, lots of the scenes can get crazy in this game.
Oh yeah.
Because they were trying to
make the randomness of
a player,
a real
life player,
yes,
who can do whatever he wants and will always take things to the extreme.
Yeah.
Then they were trying to predict that.
Yep. So yeah, that's why I wanted your unique, because your perspective is still pretty unique compared to the average player. That's what I mean. Because I guess that most people who play the game are not like, they might have played some D&D, but they didn't necessarily DM, or at least they don't have the many years of experience that you do. And I'd like to hear your unique perspective about the game, about Baldur's Gate 3 as a DM, because I feel like there's a lot to say. There's a lot of stuff that you probably noticed that I don't, just because of your experience with DMing and the world of Dungeons and Dragons. And you can tell me, as a much more casual player, both in D&D and I'd say games like CRPGs. I think you play them more often than I do. On average.
They're right up my alley.
Yeah, course. I know. Yes, I used to play them when I was younger. These days, I don't play them as often. I find that I don't have the patience, and I get overwhelmed sometimes. This is what happened to me with...
Same for me.
Yeah, this is what happened to me, by the way, even with Baldur's Gate 3. I got overwhelmed by the boundless amount of options they give you.
Yeah.
It's literally too much freedom for me.
Well, but you always had a problem with sandbox games.
True.
If this one feels too open-ended for you, then you lose interest. This is just something that is your style.
But I won't hold it against the game. I won't.
Sure.
That's my problem.
Just means it's not for you.
Yes,
doesn't mean it's not
exactly. I don't even say it's not for me, because there is
this aspect.
There's a very good chance that I'll come back and I'll continue playing where I stopped, or start a new gameplay. There's a good chance I'll do that in the future. Very good chance.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there are some people I know, and I know another friend of ours who think that the game is it's so good, right? But it gives you so much freedom that you almost feel overwhelmed with the options. And I'm one of those people, and I'm not proud. I'm not proud of that fact. I'd love to be able to, just adapt, and because I know I can do it. It's like I don't have the patience for it, and it's a shame, because I know I'm missing out on a really, really great game. From what I played from it, I invested like 25 hours in it.
Yeah.
How many hours did you put in it?
I have no idea, a lot.
More than 30?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, you know what I mean. So, yeah. You love the game.
Yes.
Can you expand why?
I can explain more than why. But I want to touch on a few points that you mentioned. It's important to explain that there is no right or wrong way to play D&D.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So, and from my experience, no two groups have the same playing style. Like, even with the basic rule set, which is the same for everyone, you can have groups play completely different type of game, because this is very dependent on the players and the DM.
Yeah.
So, even the perspective that I would give here is unique,
Yeah.
With all my experience and everything, it's how I see things, and it might not, gel with other people who are veteran players.
Part of this, of us creating this channel, in our midlife crisis, is my midlife gaming crisis was with BG3 being overwhelmed by all the options. Like our logo, I started shouting and yelling, and then I uninstalled because I'm old and dumb. But
shouting at your display, what do you want from me?
Yes, exactly. But it doesn't mean I can't appreciate the absolute amazing work they put into that game, man.
Absolute.
It's amazing. It really is a work of art. The game. It is. And both of us didn't even reach Act 2 yet. I'm in the beginning of Act 1 or mid Act 1, something like you are, right? That's around where you are.
I wouldn't know how long Act 1 is, so I'm in Act 1.
I heard it's the biggest act, from what I heard.
Mid, end, start, I don't know.
Okay.
It's like, and this is to strengthen the point that you said, that you can do, the options are so large. I actually went the wrong way. When I discussed this with our mutual friend Nul, he pointed out to me, and then I was like, and then I realized that I have to go back. Because after I did something, I got to the Underdark part area and started advancing there. And I didn't finish a lot of the things that happened before, because it seemed to me like a natural progression of where I'm going. They sent me to find something there. Or at least I thought. Yeah. And then he told me, no, what you're doing is like a passage forward to drive the story, and you missed characters and things in
but that's that doesn't mean you have to play the game like that. That's how you decided to go, right?
Sure, but you know,
you want you're the completionist in you want that doesn't want
it's
to
not a
miss.
completionist. Like I still want it is, for example, important for me to have all the NPCs. You know, so you can start with the group you want to be with.
Right.
You know, so if I missed recruitable characters,
I
then I want to go back.
I see what you mean, but don't you find it more enjoyable to play the game like you would a real D&D session, like just let it go where it goes, you know, like
but no,
go with the flow.
A good DM does it. He goes with the flow inside the framework of his campaign.
Okay, so there you go. That's exactly what I'm talking. What you just said is something I wouldn't think about.
At first, you would nudge them gently to the direction you want to go.
Right.
But if your players are persistent, which they usually are, then sometimes you resort to a more aggressive pointing back. But definitely, you want them to stay on course with the story that you've made for them.
How many years do you have as a DM, do you think, under your belt? Specifically as DMing.
Yeah, how to say? Decades.
Yeah, we're that old, boys and girls. We're that old.
Yeah, but you know, there are also peak seasons and shallow seasons. Like
how many adventures do you?
Because when I was in the army, I didn't have time to play.
Right,
for example. So that's like 3-4 years.
How many adventures do you think you've DM'd overall in your life? Like hundreds, or is that too many? Did I exaggerate? Because I know some of them take months to finish, right?
It depends on the adventure and depends on the group.
Yeah, of course. Something you can probably also say about Baldur's Gate, I imagine.
I'm just trying to fast forward in my mind all kinds of sessions that have passed to answer your question. The number is irrelevant.
It's a big one.
I've been DMing a long time. Come on.
Yeah.
In times like high school, you have so much free time. You know?
Yeah. No,
it's different.
I'm just trying to convey to the audience how experienced you are.
We've been doing this from childhood.
Yeah,
this conveys it perfectly.
Yeah, so you know what you're talking about when it comes to
We're middle-aged men. I've been playing D&D for 30-something years.
Yes, we're all decrepit men. Yes. So
more than that, 40 years.
Fuck me, man.
Almost 40.
Holy crap.
My starter's kit, I got it when I was 6. I just learned how to read.
When you started really early, though.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when you were 6 years old,
cut me right away. 6 or 7 years old.
You started.
I'm just saying. I just learned how to read, and this is like the stuff I started reading.
Yeah, I started D&D much later, like in my teenage years. I feel like maybe a bit earlier, 10 or 11 years.
But at those early years, it was hard for. I didn't know lots of, I wouldn't even say girls, boys that play this, because girls did not touch D&D for years.
Yeah, at that time, no, not at all.
No way. So finding a group
to find
was a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, there's no internet.
Yeah. So there were BBSs though.
Not yet.
Not even that.
Not yet. Come on.
We're talking like
you didn't even have hard drives.
Mid 80s? What are we talking about?
We're talking about 86, 87s. The hard drives were a thing. It was just starting to be a thing. I remember when my dad bought one from the States, it was a 3 or 4 megabyte hard drive, right?
Yeah,
and
I remember
friends came to my house from my class.
Yeah, I remember that.
To see how is it possible we can play Prince of Persia without changing discs.
Yeah, I remember the discs, bro. I remember like installing
the floppies.
Installing like 15 fucking floppies for one game.
40 Lands of Lore was like 50 discs. And if one of them had like a fucking bad sector, you're like, no!
Even in the CDs era, I remember like there was the game Wing Commander 4, which is a classic game.
Yeah.
One of the
Star Wars games were good.
Oh, it's not Star Wars, it's Wing Commander.
It's the same genre, come on.
No, it's something different, but it's great. Wing Commander is like a space opera kind of sci-fi.
I like them.
You like them? Yeah, okay. So
but I always got the Star Wars vibe from them.
Yeah, I mean, they might be like they might be stealing some stuff. I mean, you have Mark
X-Wing.
You have Mark Hamill there. I mean, come on.
And exactly, because it's a Star Wars vibe, so I call it a Star Wars-esque game.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they are fighting like a Chewbacca-like race of lions or some shit.
Yeah. The audience can't see my expressions, but I'm
yeah, he's agreeing. But the game had like something like 5 or 6 discs. It was ridiculous. 7 or 8 actually, something like that.
And the story was good.
The game was amazing because it was all conveyed in back then it was like actual movies. They actually shot it on set, and you know it was pretty low resolution back then.
They like to do that in games. Then
FMV.
CNC also did that.
I think that the term
Command and Conquer.
FMV. Yes, Command and Conquer used to do it in between the missions and the briefings. Oh, I used to really love that. It was always cheesy acting, over the top acting, but
you had games that tried to do that even in the game animations. What do you call that? Phantasmagoria was one.
Yes, Phantasmagoria. Yeah, that game I remember. It was a horror game, right?
Yeah, but it was all like the gameplay was not animations; it was video footage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most of the games that we just, Wing Commander 4, it was video. That's what I'm saying. And you had a lot of famous actors in it, like a lot of them.
Yeah.
It was like a big fucking deal back then. And the guy who made that game, by the way, we kind of went off on a tantrum, but whatever.
Who made that? Accolade?
Sorry, what?
Who made the game? Accolade?
No, you mean the
Commander.
You mean the company?
Yeah, the developer. Or the publisher, I don't know.
I can't remember. I'm gonna check in a moment. I can't remember by heart, but I know the guy who created it is Chris Roberts. He's the guy who's heading Star Citizen right now. If you heard about that shit,
I even gave them money.
You gave Star Citizen money?
Yeah.
What? Are you kidding me? Did we ever cover Star Citizen?
Never ever.
Oh my god, this wasn't even planned in our subjects today, but Star Citizen is a big subject that we need to talk about sometime, man. I don't even know
how it's doing these ways. I'm disappointed.
You're disappointed? Really? Why? Because it has been almost a decade since you donated the money and nothing happened since then? Yeah.
No, there is a game, but it's just not playable.
Bro, it's one of the greatest scams of our history.
Probably.
It's amazing. But the guy who actually made it, he has the reason he's getting away with the scam, the Star Citizen scam, is because the success of his Wing Commander games. Those games never...
Look, his idea is ambitious. They haven't given up on it. Like, they're claiming to still develop it.
Yeah, there he is, Brian.
But the thing is, they keep putting, most of the time they keep adding elements that cost money, just to keep driving the development.
Oh yeah, it's a scam. I didn't want to open that subject right now, but Chris Roberts, that's the guy who was the guy who created the Wing Commander universe.
Yeah.
And yeah, he made that.
Freelancer is also a good game.
Yeah, it is. And that's what I mean. The guy has a lot of receipts. So people felt comfortable. I can understand why you felt comfortable giving him your money. He also, I remember the video he made on Kickstarter was very good. It was a very good one. It's the most successful Kickstarter in the history of ever, and nothing will come close to it. But it's a scam. At this point, it's a scam. Anyways, Origin is the name of the company that created the Wing Commander. That was the
Origin. This brings back memories.
Yeah, Origin. They had a lot of good games.
We are training off PG.
Yes, let's go back to Baldur's Gate. Sorry. Chris Roberts, man, I can't believe this guy he's racking in millions for literally a huge tech demo.
Yep.
And people are paying him like for huge amounts of money.
Some people are like heavily invested, like they keep
buying
because they believe in this.
That's the only reason. They're giving them like the option to buy ship models and stuff like that. Yeah. And the game is not even out yet. Nobody knows when it will be out.
It's playable. That's what I'm talking about.
You can go now and play it.
You can go and play it.
Yes,
so
but
it's not a good
playable
game.
It's a tech demo. It's not like a game. It's not an actual
game. But even in the tech demo, they enjoy flying the models that they buy.
Anyway, back to Baldur's Gate 3. Sorry about that tantrum, boys. That will happen a lot with us. We might be slightly baked. Anyway, keep going.
Slightly. I like that.
Yes. Keep going. So you have a lot of experience, and you're in Act 1 of BG3, and what character are you playing?
Wow, I completely lost the trailer from before.
Well, I know, that's why I'm trying to steer us to the direction. What character are you playing?
You mean class and...
Yeah.
I'm a female, of course. I always play females.
Okay.
All right. Because who wants to look at a dude for 600 hours?
Man, I usually play male characters, but lately I started playing female characters as well, to be honest.
It's exactly the reason that I just said. I find that in these games eventually I stare at the model for 600 hours and I'd rather that model be female.
If it's a third-person game.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, makes
But
sense.
even if it's not, like Cyberpunk, I played first person, I still played a girl. Because you could see female hands,
I don't know.
you could hear a female voice.
I really like people playing girls in World of Warcraft. Because that's a multiplayer game with other people, and a lot of people like abuse the fact that they use a female character.
Yeah.
And people are nicer to them just because they play a female character and they
Really?
abuse it. Yes. They don't tell them that they're
I was
a
never
fucking-
nicer to
a
a
39-year-old.
I was nicer to girls.
I mean, that's what people do on games, right? Either
Listen, WoW for me was so funny because I completely went into the game believing that it's like gonna be an RP experience, you know, I'm a D&D player and I went to an RP server, so I expected people to be in character, and 2 minutes out of Death Knell I played Forsaken. You know, you just rise from the grave, you just go outside killing rats or whatever, you're like level 2.
Yeah.
And this female character walks up to me and she's like, "Hi, how are you? What's your name? Whatever." And I'm like doing it in character, like, "My name is this. I just woke up in this grave." And she's like, "Oh, I'm from Greece." So immediately it became like, "Oh, so you're just here to meet people."
Yeah. A lot of people use the.
But she really was a girl, and we met, and
You
yeah.
fucked.
Sure.
Anyways,
She was fucking hot, bro.
I believe you. I BG3, man.
What a shock! What a culture shock. Anyway,
Yeah, BG3. BG3. So what character are you playing?
Paladin, Retribution Paladin.
Retribution
That's
Paladin.
how you call it.
Sorry?
Vengeance Paladin, Retribution. I don't remember the exact.
Yeah, I know what you're
phrase.
talking about. What
Yeah.
what race?
Human.
Human. Oh,
Yes.
human. Okay.
Yes.
You say it like there's no other options there.
No. I thought about it. It wasn't necessarily human, but I went with human eventually.
All right.
The character creation, which
Oh,
is
yeah, talk
big part of the game.
Talk about that, please.
I should give background though. BG3 is a continuation of a series of BG2 and 1.
Yes.
Baldur's Gate 1 was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Baldur's Gate 2, with all its expansions, it had like 2 or 3, was I think a masterpiece.
It was at that time for sure.
Exactly. The game was incredible, and very few games from back then had that replayability for me.
Yeah.
I completed fully.
That's old school
I'm
BioWare,
talking-
man. Old school BioWare.
Exactly. I completed fully, start to finish, with the expansion, with Throne of Baal. This is with the Watcher's Keep. These are DLCs that back then they didn't call them DLCs. That are so long. I think I completed it 8 times.
Woo! Yeah, you're like I said. I'm a casual compared to you. When
I
it comes to
tried
those games.
Every class, every race, every alignment,
Yeah.
every romance, everything.
Damn, you went hard.
But listen, every playthrough is different,
Yeah, it is. That's also.
and this is back then.
Yeah. This is also true to BG3. I feel like every.
Oh, I'm
playthrough
already
feels
playing.
very-
I'm fucking Act 1, and I'm playing the next playthrough.
How many times did you re-roll your character in BG?
0.
Zero?
I know what I want.
Wow, this is a game. It's one of those games that are so rewarding for anyone who starts it again and sees all the different stuff you can do. You know what I mean?
Sure. And some people like that, but
I did that a bunch of times.
as a veteran D&D player, I know exactly what I like and want.
See,
you
that's
know?
another huge difference between you and you. That's exactly why I wanted to talk about this subject, because we're very different in our perspectives and our experiences when it comes to these kind of games. And you being your massive experiences in actual Dragon and Dungeons player and
and CRPG.
and
player.
yeah, and dungeon and DM. yeah, we have very different perspectives because I also love these games, but I don't love them like you do, and I don't have the experience of the D&D like you do. I played a little bit, but not even close to what you did. So
I think I played like almost every CRPG game out there.
yeah, that's crazy.
Not including what do you call them? They don't like the game this term, but the JRPGs.
Oh, you like the JRPGs as well?
I never played any JRPG.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying, barring JRPGs,
Right.
I played almost, I think,
But
every CRPG out there.
All the CRPGs that you play are always bound in some way or another to the D&D rulebook, or do you
Not at all.
Do you like
Dragon Age has nothing to do with D&D. Come on.
That's what I mean. I'm just asking if that.
No. I played everything.
Okay.
Any CRPG.
So what I'm saying is what's unique about Baldur's Gate 3 is that that's one of their selling points to a lot of people is they very meticulously try to work by the 5th edition D&D rule set, right? Correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes. They are very loyal to the rule set, to the 5th edition. But even putting that aside, they really made a good D&D experience. You feel like you're playing D&D.
Yes, I agree.
Baldur's Gate 2 was amazing.
But it
didn't feel like playing D&D.
I agree with that 100%.
It felt like a mechanical game, a fantasy game, which is based on the D&D mechanics, but is much more gamified.
Would you say one of the main reasons for that, for Baldur's Gate 3 feeling so much like a D&D is the dice system?
Not only.
But that helps for sure.
Yeah,
for
sure.
The whole feeling of rolling a dice.
Now that I play it, I so much more think that it would fit with the mod like we discussed with the real dice. I would so would like to roll real dice when I play it.
I mean, in my head, it seems like such a possible idea.
It should be very possible.
Technically, to be able to do it, like have like some sort of a scanner or some shit.
Any camera can do that. Any fucking webcam. You don't need anything special.
I mean, you need some sort of interface between the game and the technology.
Software. That's it. You need a software that can, interpret the picture.
Yeah, I guess so.
Any picture analysis software.
Any programmers out there, if you're listening, we got a startup for you. It's a great.
I don't know if it's a startup.
I mean, yeah, it works for only exactly one game, but hey, it's one of the most successful games of the last few years. So, and it's a single player without microtransactions, without a battle pass.
I hope they made good money on that.
Oh, they made a lot of money, bro.
Like,
they're not publicly traded. They're not publicly traded either.
Good.
So they're doing what they want to do.
Good.
And yeah, it's like a shining example of what gaming should aim to be like. And I haven't finished the game. I haven't even gotten out of Act 1. I don't even know if I'll be able to come back and play it in the future. And still I know how good it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How quality product it is and how it respects my time as a player. And you can feel the sweat and tears and love that was poured.
Just the fact that it doesn't try to grab every fucking dime you have in your pocket gives them respect.
Yeah.
For me. I'm talking personally.
No online mode, no bullshit.
Exactly.
And you can play co-op. You can play co-op in
yes,
this game. Up to 4
I plan
people,
to.
Right?
I plan to.
You know what? That's something I wouldn't mind doing with you. Playing that game on co-op.
Me and Null are planning to start co-op very soon after I finish Act 1.
I don't mind doing that.
Sure.
I don't know how many times a week we manage to find time.
No, we don't play a lot. Come on, me?
Yeah. But and with this channel we want to try and get some content out there.
Exactly. Which is more important.
Yes, right now it is for sure. So, but yeah, that's something I'd possibly be interested in. It's an amazing game, and this is telling you. It's funny because we're two people who haven't finished the game, haven't even been out of Act 1. You can already tell the amount of love and passion and dedication that went into the game from the developers, right? It's ridiculous.
And because it's obviously not a money grabbing scheme.
No, not even close.
For example, I knew I was gonna buy it not at the beginning, not on release. Mm-hmm. I always give them some time. I wanted to finish the other games.
And they're releasing like a patch every 2 weeks.
Yeah, all the time.
They're very active.
So, I was, there were a few sales already where the price was reduced. And when I was thinking to myself, maybe I should get it at reduced price, I was like, nah, they deserve full price.
They do. They deserve the full price. I also That's a good point. I also bought it in full price, knowing full well there is a good chance I won't finish the game and won't maybe even not like it, knowing my history and knowing that I didn't like their previous 2 games.
I didn't like the middle.
What do you remember the name? I forgot.
Yeah, Divinity 1 and 2.
Yes, Divinity 1 and 2. I
couldn't finish them.
I couldn't even last 1 hour in those games.
But the caveats that I have with these games were fixed in BG3.
That's exactly it. And you know what's probably the main reason for that? And I don't like this model, but in this case, it's one of those shining examples of the model of early access working.
Yeah.
Most of the times, I don't like it. I feel like it's just another way to make save money and pay people to QA test for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and in a way it is like that, but if you use it in the correct way and you actually use the feedback to really improve the game and not just a way to get money out of people, that's what they did in BG3 and it worked perfectly, you know?
I guess.
But this industry, the gaming industry, is so cynical. People will take the wrong lessons from this success story, not the right lessons. That's what I think. You know what I mean?
Some of them.
Yeah,
some of them.
Yeah. The big companies.
Just
big
like this company, there are other indie companies or let's say B-level companies out there.
Yeah.
And they are doing similar things, and we just have to keep showing them
like the double A companies. Yeah.
We need to keep showing them our love and support.
Yeah.
And that we are behind them.
Yeah.
And they will thrive.
Yeah, I have no problem with spending a full price on a double A or an indie game.
Yes.
Even if I know that I might not finish it or love it completely, okay? As long as I feel like the game is good, it's like watching a movie from a genre that you're not connecting with. You don't maybe enjoy the plot so much, but you realize that what you're seeing right now is really, really good because the acting is fucking amazing and the dialogue is precise and intelligent and the camera work is just, you can't ignore it.
When thought and passion go into the little details,
you notice it.
Exactly. You just know it.
Exactly. And that's what you just said is exactly what I feel like this game is. It's a lot of small details that were paid a lot of attention. And this is a good attention to details. Yes.
Unlike, for example, wasting money and hours on making the balls of a fucking horse shrink.
Is that a shot at a...
yes. Yes, because this is them spending time of development and graphics and lots of things on the wrong fucking details.
He's talking about... Yeah. Are you talking about fucking Rockstar?
Yes.
Under development?
Yes.
I get what you're saying, but their attention to detail is also amazing. You gotta give it.
Not saying it's not. I have lots of criticism for the company, and yet Red Dead Redemption 2 was a very, very good game. I enjoyed it a lot. The story was
amazing.
Perfect.
Yeah, it is.
But no, there's no but.
No, there is a but. It's not worth the crunch time that the people paid for it.
Yeah, definitely not worth what they did to their workers, but also why? Why do they need to go into the details of the genitalia of the horse? This is realism that is unnecessary.
I don't agree with that, I gotta say. This is a point of contention. I have to disagree with you on this. I love attention to all detail, and as long as it's consistent around all of the game, and not just attention to detail of stuff that don't matter. Now, you're right. In the greater scheme of things, shrinking balls of a
how
horse...
does that matter?
It doesn't matter in the biggest sense of the word, but when you...
It's not like if you would have told me, listen, they really put a lot of time to see that when you scope into the fox, it looks like a real fox and behaves like a real fox. This is okay, because this is gameplay and it gives to the immersion. The size of the...
The balls shrinking from cold is realistic physics.
No, it's not, because you don't see the balls of the horse that you're riding.
Yes, you are. It's behind him. It's behind the horse, right? It's a third-person game. You can play it on first-person.
In real life, you are not in
Who cares? Who cares? But you're playing a game. You're playing a video game. Listen,
no. You can't say that you can't use the video game excuse when you want to, and then say that it's supposed to be realistic when you want to.
What do you mean? It's realistic within the world of the video game. I don't understand what you mean. Listen, I want to see my horse's balls shrink, and you won't stop me from seeing those balls shrink. I will sing, I will look at them.
I did not stop you.
I will focus on the balls and they will shrink in front of my eyes and I will enjoy it. I will enjoy the balls shrinking.
Yes.
Hope my neighbors didn't hear that one. Yeah, so anything else to add to Baldur's Gate 3?
Are you kidding? We haven't even scratched the surface.
We're like 35 minutes in, bro. We haven't even scratched the fucking surface.
Hey, but we spread to a lot of shit and
Yeah, as
in
usual.
between.
Listen, to our audience, our short-term content, our shorter content will be a lot more focused and structured, not like this. This is just me and my boy shooting the shit is the term I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're also shitting because we're really old. So we have diapers. We're also shitting inside our diapers at this very moment while recording. So
This catheter is bothering me.
the what?
The catheter is bothering me.
The catheter is bothering you? Why? You should be used to it by now, man. Come on. I have it inside there for years now. Okay, so I think the Baldur's Gate 3, man, what my point is that it's a quality game and you don't have to love the actual plot of the game, or it doesn't have to be a game that you usually play to really realize how much passion and effort went into it. That was all my point.
Sure.
And that's why I paid the full price for it and I feel zero regret. And that's it. Let's continue what you said before.
Yes. So, character creation is important in these games.
Yes.
Right? And this was a bit contrasted. After playing something like Cyberpunk, where you could control everything in character
In
creation.
the character creation?
Yeah. We get to this game
where...
Let me finish.
Okay.
We get to this game where I create the female body.
Of course.
I can choose to great detail the amount of pubic hair she has, but I can't control the boob size?
You're talking about...
Baldur's Gate.
About Baldur's Gate?
This is a travesty.
Wait, you can't change the boob size?
No! I'm stuck with a character model with a medium-sized boob.
Stop
and
the
this
recording!
is pissing me
Stop
off!
the recording! I'm canceling this podcast. And we're scrubbing it. Everything we said about BG3, I regret all of it. I want to erase all this part. Just in the editing, everything about BG3, remove it. Leave all the other stuff. I can't believe they didn't let you change the character's boobs.
You can change body type, and this changes the way the boobs look a bit, but what if I don't want the big body type?
Terrible game. It's a terrible game now. Uninstall.
Why?
Uninstall!
Why can I decide how much pubic hair she has, but I can't decide how large her tits are? Why?
What about the buttocks? Can you change anything there? Like the size of the ass?
No, this is also automatic with the body, with the frame of the body.
Okay. Can you change the frame of the body?
Three things: thin, regular, big.
Oh yeah, now I'm starting to remember. Because I haven't played the game for a while now. Now I'm starting to remember.
This was a big disappointment for me. I'm
I
serious.
can see the disappointment already.
It
all over your
really
face.
disappointed me.
It's like a midlife game crisis.
You see, it wasn't even fucking mid-game.
Mid-game life crisis.
The game just started and I had a crisis. I was like, no!
That's exactly...
If I had hair to pull, I would.
That's exactly the theme of our channel, man. Us losing our minds over critical stuff, like not being able to change the tits. I mean, come on.
This was a very bad taste for me to start the game with, because I had such high expectations.
So that's actually even more impressive that the game managed to win you over even after such huge disappointment.
Yes. So you know what? Let's start with a few of the negatives.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Instead of because we're building.
We already started. Yeah, we already started with one, so let's keep going.
I'm not crazy about the character animations in the discussions.
Okay. In the discussions.
Like when you see the character talking
With another character.
Yeah, like the main character, the character I made.
Interesting.
It feels like it's repeating a lot of the same body gestures all the time. It doesn't feel very realistic to me. Very lifelike.
That's interesting. I actually didn't feel that. I actually thought they were quite high quality. From what I understand,
The animation is high quality. I'm not convinced. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The quality is good. It's not convincing to me as a living being. You know?
Okay. Yeah, there is something off about it. You're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't put my. Maybe I can, or if I try, but it doesn't matter.
I have valid credit.
I'm just saying this is one thing that
bothered you.
Yeah. Also, and this is important to remind. I'm at the beginning. I haven't even finished Act 1, so I haven't seen much of the character development. But right now, most of the characters in your party are not that
What? Engaging?
yeah, they're not engaging me. Like unless they give me the really really bad opinion, you know? Like I fucking can't stand Astarion. I fucking can't stand Lazel, okay?
Really? Damn, I actually like Lazel. Starion is a bit annoying, yeah.
So, you know, it's either I hate them or I'm like, all right.
That's interesting because people say that the characters are one of the biggest strengths of the game.
Look, the guy that makes the voice of Astarion, the voice actor,
Oh, the voice acting is top notch.
is
The
amazing.
voice acting is deep.
I hate the character and he's doing an amazing job.
You hate it because of the character itself.
Exactly.
So that's good
he
writing.
plays it, yes.
Okay.
The character is well written.
Okay,
This one at least.
Okay.
But it's like the Astarion character stands out. I don't know why. I guess they put a lot of effort into it. I don't know.
This is actually surprising to me because seeing how glowing you were about the game, it would be weird to me that some of the biggest strengths of the game are some of the stuff that you actually...
No, but I'm waiting for the development of their story. I'm sure it will get better.
Oh, yeah, it's right in the beginning. Okay.
I'm sure it will get better. But
Yeah.
like, it's like their hooks are a bit...
It didn't engage you yet.
They're not the ideal party that I imagined for my character.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm not gelling with a lot of them.
Yeah.
And usually, maybe there's not enough characters. Maybe that's the thing. Like, for example, I was hoping for a bard. And there is no bard.
What do you mean? There is a bard. I created a bard.
No, to get an NPC bard.
Oh, an NPC bard? Is there no bard?
Because I'm not playing a bard.
I'm not sure. Is there no bard?
I haven't met one. And from what I understood from my friends, there isn't one.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. All right.
So, like in a lot of these other games, your arsenal of choosing from is enormous.
Wait.
BG2 had a ton of NPCs you could recruit. A
But-
ton.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Can't you change the classes of some of your teammates in the camp?
Not that I know of. I know that you can create, like, double quotes, mercenaries with Wither. And
Yeah, I know about
by the way, we
mercenaries.
should put spoiler warnings in the beginning.
This is. I mean, it was pretty obvious. The game is like it's been out there for a while, but yeah, this is a spoiler for the Act 1. That's all we played. Like between 30 to 50 hours of Act 1, I'd say, roughly, very rough estimate.
No, I didn't go into great detail, but we're using names of things. And whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with the Wither guy, you can create like whatever you want to recruit into your group. But that's great if you're into the metagaming. I'm here for the story.
Yeah.
I'm not going to create a character that has no story.
But I think, I'm not sure because I can't remember, but I think in one of the later patches they introduced some way in your camp. It's a character that shows up eventually that is supposedly about to allow you to change the class of some of your colleagues. That's what I know. Understand. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on this. We could probably check.
No, you can change. Like, for example, I noticed that I can... All the characters in my group, when they level up, I can choose to multi-class them. Like, turn them into something else.
Yes, that's for sure. But I mean, like... Yeah.
So you can change their class.
So, I mean, you can change one of them to a bard, right?
Yes, but I respect the vision of the creators of the game.
Okay,
if they imagine these characters in these classes, I want to play them through the way they imagined them.
That's on you, because they created this game, they made that feature because they believe in it.
No, because Will, for example, the whole story is around his class. If you make him not a warlock, it's stupid.
I mean, I don't think you can, maybe you can change him. I'm talking about the other characters, I don't know.
It's the same for Shadowheart. If you make her not a cleric, the whole story, her backstory becomes silly. The whole point is her being very, very religious.
Yeah. I'm not even sure, by the way, that you can do this. It's something that I don't remember.
But I'm saying, hypothetically, even if you can, it's weird to me. I'm not going to make the characters do something that is not in line with their...
I get with
their
your
life
original
story.
vision of the...
Not even original, if their life story. They sell the character as a very religious character. Making her, for example, suddenly a bard would not fit the story.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I do get what you're saying. Yeah, it also it doesn't make sense for a lot of their stories, even Shadowheart, a cleric of Shar, and all that stuff.
This is a spoiler because I've been spoiled. I know for a fact that you meet Vaconia in the game.
I haven't even reached that part. Don't even know who you're talking about.
You know who she is?
No.
She's from BG2.
I don't even remember, bro.
And she was a follower of Shar. So so for sure she will probably be related to Shadowheart.
Yeah, so I might be wrong about being able to change the classes, so you can check. I'm not sure. I can't remember. You're correct that it doesn't make much sense. That story-wise, to change their classes, it doesn't make much sense. But I guess that the multi-class exists for that. You can make one of them like.
Sure, but like I said, it would be for me. It would be hard if it doesn't feel like that multi-classing is, native to the characters.
Yeah.
Backstory and demeanor, or however you want to call it.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Now, so my point is, the previous games like these where you don't create the party, where you recruit your party, because some RPGs let you create the entire party. You know? They're not story driven; they're more like on the gameplay.
Yeah.
That's dungeon crawlers, for example.
Exactly.
But this one, where it's a very detailed narrative of a story. This feels like there's not a lot of characters in your group.
So there's not a lot of characters?
Yeah. You can have a group of 4 people, you're one of them, and you get 6 characters?
Man.
BG2 had like 30.
30 characters? I can't even remember that.
A ton that you can recruit, a ton.
Man, and I feel overwhelmed.
I mean, look at alignments. You had to have at least 5-6 evil people so you can do an entire evil group in BG2.
I don't remember any of that, man. It's been years since I played.
Give me 3 evil characters here: Astarion, Shadowheart, and Lazel is not evil. She's just weird with her culture.
What would you say your alignment is? Chaotic?
They don't use alignments in the game this way, but
they don't.
When Lazel, when you understand that the entire culture of their people is this way, to be very
direct,
the strong winds.
They're like Lingers.
Exactly. So it's not evil to me. This is who they are.
Yeah.
This is not because they are evil.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Anyway, it's weird. In these games, I'm used to you having a lot more options in the character, in building your group, choosing the characters for your group. Like if I don't like Shadowheart, what other cleric do I have?
Other than the one you yourself can play?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Every class in BG2, you had at least 2 different options. So you're not forced to if you think a cleric is a must in your group, then you're fucked. You have to take her.
The fact that you're comparing it to BG2 is interesting. I didn't even consider it because I don't remember enough of a game that I played almost 20 years ago, maybe more. Like I can't remember enough from it. I remember like little stuff, like the fucking the barbarian with the
Minsk.
Squirrel. Minsk. Yeah, that stuff I remember because it's ageless, but there's a lot of stuff I just can't remember anymore. Also, I didn't play the game as many times as you do, so you remember a lot of stuff. So it's interesting to see how you compare it to BG.
I'm going to make more comparisons later.
Go ahead. This is old school, man. Let's go.
But to me, this is another BG2 is a predecessor.
I know.
They called it BG3.
No, all your...
This demands comparison.
All your complaints are legit. The only one I could contest is the animation one. I didn't feel that at all.
Yeah.
I actually felt like the animation are fantastic compared to other games when it comes to discussions between the characters, but maybe...
Look, it's not Bethesda.
Yeah, oh my god, that's a very good point. That's a very good point, man. Bethesda are so lazy and awful.
It's not Bethesda, it's not whatever shit went through the minds of BioWare Quebec when they made Andromeda, okay? Because the animations there also are... How they were not ashamed to release that game is beyond me.
But it is a huge graphical upgrade from the old games, obviously, and also the style is very cinematic, which is another advantage that you have in BG3 compared to the old games. that are isometric, right? You have it from like a very like a high angle.
Why doesn't the character talk?
What do you mean?
Your character in BG doesn't talk.
Because they want you to imagine your own voice for it, because and it allows them a lot more freedom with the text, with the options of text that you have. That's why I think they did it. I think that bothers you as well, really?
It's weird to me.
I thought that it was like one of the
way I play these games, it's not me. I'm playing a story.
I agree with you, by the way. I would prefer an antagonist that has a voice. That you can choose the voice, maybe.
Antagonist?
A protagonist, sorry. That you can choose. Well, I mean, you can play as an antagonist.
Yeah, sure.
But you know what I mean. You can choose the voice in the character creation. You can do that in other games.
I mean, I put a lot of thought into the voice of the character, but apparently it's only the voice for when you click on the portrait.
But I will say that in many of those games like that, I feel like personally, I feel like the voices that they give you, the options that the voices they give you, rarely do they match the character that I build, and a lot of times it leaves me unsatisfied with the final product.
Look, I'm gonna give the best example I can. The voice actress in Cyberpunk made the game for me.
Oh yeah,
she made the game.
She's a lot better than the male guy. I played both, and she's a lot better than the male.
That's what I'm saying. She made the game.
Yeah, she didn't make the game. She's one of the main ingredients.
For me, I'm telling you, I could. Most of my praise is to her acting. Yeah. Most of it was unbelievable.
Yeah, she's very, very good. And if you play the expansion eventually, it goes even further away. It's crazy.
Great.
Yeah.
So this is a big contrast. That's what I'm saying. Here, it's weird to me that the character doesn't talk. It's like I choose options and then all I see her is like change her body.
But I mean, it's weird to me that would bother you, seeing as you love the original game so much and there's no voice acting at all.
Sure,
so,
but if they put a
in
voice
this
acting...
game, every character talks, including animals. Everyone talks. Everything talks. Everything has a voice. And that's amazing.
Yes.
Especially from a AA.
But that's why I'm saying it's weird. Everything has a voice except you.
I mean, that's a design choice, 100%.
I understand. I can criticize it.
You can either agree with it or disagree with it, I guess.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Giving my personal perspective, it's weird.
I told you why I think they did it. What's the...
And I understand the direction. I understand the reason.
Yeah.
I acknowledge it.
But you don't agree with it.
I'm saying I don't like it.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Maybe I would have made the same decision when I designed the game. But
any other...
when as a player, when I play it, it's weird.
Any other huge issues you have with the game other than those? Before we move to the pluses? Because there's a lot of pluses. And we've been on this subject for a while. We need to wrap it up in a moment.
No, I think
this
wraps up my minuses.
So what's your biggest strength of the game? The biggest pluses? What makes you... Would you consider yourself addicted to it right now?
I would say this. I have very little time to play.
Yeah, I mean that's comes with the territory.
I have a family. I got like 3 kids. And 0 time.
Yeah.
And no game in the last few years made me feel like I don't have enough time to play it.
So that's a compliment.
Yes.
A big one.
Yes. I don't have enough time to play this game. I want to play
it. You want
to,
yeah.
And I don't have the time.
But that's a fun feeling, though, knowing that,
I'm gonna get to play. It's annoying at me, because even when I get like an hour to play with it, it's not enough. You can't even get into it, you know?
Why, though? Why? Why does it have that effect on you? What do you think are the main reasons it has that effect on you? Just like you said, the main minuses. What's the main turn-ons?
The attention to detail.
Such as?
The world is... You can do whatever you want, and you can interact with everything. And, for example, in BG2, let's make another comparison. This time an improvement. The loot in BG2 was boring, generally speaking.
Again, I can't remember. It's too long.
I'm saying, once in a while you had the special weapons or items that you find, but generally speaking, you would kill mobs and find +1 sword, +1 sword, +1 sword, +2 sword, +1 sword. You had like rows of the same icon, because it's always the same weapon.
Yeah.
Or, the generic things.
Yeah.
Here, every item is different. You get so many magic items with tiny quirks in them, you know, like this one is another 1d4 to this. This one gives you a little bit of hit points. This one makes your eye glows. I don't know.
Yeah, the itemization that's a good point.
The loot is very, very much alive. You feel like you're looting new things all the time.
There's also loot that, like, how can I explain it? That has magic properties that you don't even know what they are. That they'll show themselves at some point, maybe, if you do the right thing or not. If you have the right character with the right... Some characters are responding to the loot differently. Some loot has personality.
and that's what I'm saying. This attention to details makes it very, very interesting, you know? Because this makes... How do you call this? The crunch of the game, you know? The things that you do all the time, the mundane clicks, and the mind makes them fun. Yes, exactly. And this was one of my problems with Divinities.
The last 2 games.
Yeah, man, the UI was so finished, and you had to. The inventory management was a nightmare in that game. A nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, there's some inventory management in BG3 as well, but it's much better.
But it's much, much improved.
Yeah.
Come on, you can sort, you can tell it to organize yourself. You got pouches and you can organize it.
They improved it a lot over the patches as well. I think
the crafting is much simplified.
Yes.
The crafting was annoying in Divinity. Here they added a button, make everything that you can. Great. Don't waste my time with it if I don't want it.
Yeah, that's great. That's a lot of quality of life.
Exactly.
Stuff.
And these things are important.
Very important. Very important. I find myself not playing a game because it takes too long for it to come up when I double click the icon or whatever. If there's too many stuff going on till I get to the actual gameplay, it annoys me these days. If I have a way to skip the introduction, which a lot of games offer you the option, I use that immediately. Even use a mod if I have to. Because, man, just get me to the game. Get me to the game. Why are you having to show me the introduction every time? Why do you need to show me the logos every time? I have the NVIDIA and the AMD and the whatever the fuck. I don't care. I already saw it once when I started the game. Let me get to the game so I can play the game that you created.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. This sounds like such a minute and foolish thing to complain about. But in my opinion, it's huge. Okay?
It's huge.
Let me give you an example. Sorry for, again, going a bit off on a side tangent. We'll go back to BG3 in a moment. There's a game called Returnal that I'm playing right now. Returnal. It's a very good game. It's a roguelike third-person shooter.
Returnal? Like
Returnal.
Going back to something?
Yeah, Returnal.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
Exactly. Because you return to life every time you die.
All right.
It's like a roguelike. So every time you find new stuff.
Roguelite. We've had this discussion. Go
on. Yeah. It's one of those, okay? And it's based upon the fact that you die, you come back, you find new weapons, you learn new abilities, you find new items, and when you die, you can use those items next time, right? And so you're slowly getting stronger. And that's how you explore the area. Now, what I love about this game is it's very, very fast-paced, both in the movement of the character. Yeah. The world you have to move fast or you're dead because it's all about movement. You need to dodge.
It's a bullet heaven game?
Yes, bullet hell. Yes, not bullet heaven, bullet hell. You need
to.
You need to dodge a whole lot of projectiles.
Because lately people, when the bullet hell games, if it's a good one, they call it the bullet heaven game.
Oh yeah, so it's a bullet heaven for sure. And the gear is really cool, and it's all happening in there's a plot. There's like which is not very, to me, it's not very important in those kind of games. It's all about the gameplay for me in those kind of games, in roguelike games.
But the plot can
there is a plot. There's a plot. It's very mystery.
So is this? So you?
It's very mystery.
In a way, would you say it's a third-person shooter, Vampire Survivors?
Vampire Survivor?
Yeah, because that's also a bullet heaven game, no?
Nah, but that's like from a
tiny perspective.
Yes, that's from it's very low quality, not low quality. It's pixelated.
Yeah.
It's very old school. This game is very modern. It uses ray tracing and DLSS. And
really?
Yes. And what I love about it, and this is something that not enough games do today. Almost no games does it today. Is when you want to exit the game, it's 2 presses of the button. It's quit. It's exit to go to the menu and then quit session.
What? I hate games that made me go to the menu. Why do I need to go to the menu?
Many games are today ask you to
And
go
I
to the
hate
menu.
that.
I know. Why do they do that? I don't know.
Look at BG3. Great example.
Hey.
Quit game. Goodbye.
Thank you. And exactly. And now comes the good part. When you launch the game, Returnal, it immediately puts you into the latest load, right into the gameplay. You don't need to press anything else, nothing. You just launch the game.
Very good.
I can't explain to you. I can because you play a lot of games. How rare that is in games.
Yes,
today.
very.
It's very rare.
Very.
This is such a huge quality of life thing. I know for a fact that just this thing made me play the game a lot more than I should have.
I agree. Like BG, just the fact that you have to press any key at the beginning to get to start the menu annoys me.
I know.
Why do I have to press?
Listen, we're all gamers. We have standards, high standards for games these days that are no longer. Doesn't seem like people care anymore about these things. All these things matter. All these things matter.
What do you mean? Why they don't care because they don't know it?
Either the younger generation they have never experienced.
Do you realize that there are generations of gamers today who, for them, Fortnite is like something they have grown up with?
Yeah.
They think this is the way games look.
Fortnite and Minecraft, basically.
And Roblox.
Oh God! Don't get me started. My fucking niece, she can't stop playing that shit, bro. She's addicted to it. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's a money sink. It's
I know.
I had to buy her.
Every parent I know that tells me their kid's into it, I give them a very heavy warning.
Condolences. Yes, like I would say I'm sorry for your loss. Like it's so bad, man. I had to buy my niece for her birthday some. Whatever, the currency, you buy shit with it. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. Oh. Anyway, at least she's a gamer. Anyways, let's wrap up, finish up BG3. You were talking about the good stuff about it. You said that the itemization is amazing.
Yes, the loot is good.
The exploration is really, really fun.
Is fun. Interactions with the environment, the combat is interesting. This is something they brought from Divinity, for example. Divinity environmental manipulation was very, very big in combat.
That was
mixing types of elements or whatever and using special magic to create all kinds of effects. So they implemented this into BG, but they stayed in the D&D realm.
Yes,
and the rules and effects and not going crazy.
Yeah,
and it's done well. I think it's nice. Sometimes I'm not exactly sure what the game wants for me.
Wait, we're still on the pluses. We finished with the minuses.
No, but this is not like a minus. It's like this is just to what you said. Like sometimes you have so many options.
Yes, it's overwhelming.
That I'm like, okay, what exactly you want me to do?
A veteran like you of CRPGs and D&D is getting overwhelmed, really?
It's overwhelmed. It's like I'm not sure what exactly are they expecting me to do.
That's weird, man. By the way, I'm having a bit of a hiccup. That's weird that you don't know what they're... I mean, didn't you just say just roll with it? Why can't you just roll with it?
If I can go into spoilers, for example.
We said spoilers for Act 1.
Yeah. So you get the part there where you need to find this druid where the goblin camp is. And I get to him, and he's like a bear form druid fighter.
Yeah, I know that part, yeah.
And I talk to him, and he's like, look, you got two ways of doing this, because we need to get rid of the goblin leaders.
Yeah, I remember that part.
I can join you outside, and it will be a fucking bloodbath where we have to kill every living goblin in 2 mile radius. Or you can do it discreetly. And I'll wait here. And even though I'm a vengeance paladin, the goblins were nice to me. They didn't attack your own site. They had you in the camp.
Wait. Are you playing yourself as an evil character?
No, I don't think you can, because it would be against your oath. That means you will have to be an anti-paladin.
You can.
I know you can, but
that's exactly the point. You can.
I'm not playing in an evil character.
Okay, just know you can. And from what I understand,
I know.
A very special something.
Look, if the game had to warn you about it, I know they built the options.
I mean, that's
the game warns you. It tells you play your oath or you might lose it.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
A lot of the characters.
But even BG2 had that.
Yeah, I know, but seeing it in a modern game today, it's not.
This is something that is. It doesn't surprise me. It surprises to you because it looks like attention to detail, but this is in the very spirit of D&D.
I know. But hey, they're trying to be loyal to D&D, and they're doing a good job.
Yes. If they would have missed on this, it would have surprised me very much.
Yeah. So, let's just,
So I'm
summarize it.
No, I'm just saying. So with the goblins things, he tells you you can do it discreetly. I was like, okay, let's try to do it discreetly. And I go and I talk to each one of the leaders and I look for all kinds of options of how to do it discreetly. And yet any way I tried ended in a fucking bloodbath.
I did the same. I was in the same quest line, if I remember correctly. I also tried to at first do it discreetly, and I also did not find any way to do it. But if I remember correctly, did you rescue the goblin female?
What female?
Did you encounter a goblin female
in a cage?
Yes. Did you rescue her?
No. Why would I?
Okay, we're getting into a lot of spoilers here, but talk to her. Maybe did you? Talk to
I talked to her, but she's, she talks shit. So
yeah, she talks a whole lot.
He's all over her.
Anyway, I don't want to spoil it. Anyways, yeah. So
spoil it if you release her. What?
You have all kind of it opens a whole bunch of new options that relate to the goblin camp and the druid.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I just don't want to spoil it.
But come on, if the point is the druid tells you you can make me come with you or not, this will be one of the two ways.
I'm sure there is a way. I'm sure there's a way. If you went and looked for it on Google's, I'm sure you'll find a way.
I don't need to Google it. The game should be obvious enough for me to find a way.
This is the problem with the game having so much freedom, man. There's so many stuff.
Exactly what the point.
But that's my minus for the game. It's surprised to me that's also one of yours. It surprised me. That's what I mean. Okay, yeah, I think we pretty much said everything there is to say about BG3, don't you think?
You can discuss this for hours. So
yeah, it's such a huge game. There's so many stuff to say. The
I mean,
sound, the graphics,
we haven't touched with the
music.
romance as it all.
Yeah.
And we haven't touched about...
It's all extremely high level.
Yeah.
Like the music is very, very good.
Yeah.
I love the main menu music. I love it.
And the replayability.
Yes, the replayability, the world building, the sound assets is very good.
Yes, everything is
it's just
high quality.
Even if you don't usually play games like this, okay, give it a shot. It might grab you. This comes from someone who doesn't love CRPGs so much. I like them, I don't love them. And you love those games, and
yes.
even with the issues you have with the game, you absolutely recommend it to everyone.
This is one of the best CRPGs I've played for a while.
There we go, boys. Okay, so we have time for maybe a much smaller subject before we close it off. What do you want to do? We're just gonna mention it. I think we'll make a more focused short content about it in the future, in the very near future.
All right.
But I just want to mention it before we wrap up things.
Go for it.
Oh, why did I type 3? It's 4. So Blizzard, as you guys, everyone who's listening knows probably, Blizzard.
You mean Microsoft Blizzard?
Microsoft, exactly. Blizzard has been bought officially by Microsoft a few months back. And
did they buy only? They bought
both Activision and Blizzard.
And Activision itself.
Yes,
yeah.
and King. King is also
yes.
one of those 3 companies.
Yes.
King is all the mobile shit.
The mobile stuff.
Yes. So you got them right. Microsoft bought that. I think that's the most important part for them.
That's what they wanted.
Yeah, that's the money. That's where the money is. So Diablo 4, we didn't talk about it in this. I'll give a short summary. Diablo 4 is a very mid game that was fun to play for one playthrough for the campaign with one character, and after that it became repetitive and annoying. And all the end game, so-called end game, it's not really end game, it's basically from the mid game and above, is extremely repetitive, extremely boring. It's very punishing for anyone trying to experiment and try new specs. It's extremely annoying and punishing to do so, which is pretty much everything that it goes against everything that needs to be in a action RPG game. And the itemization, which is the most important thing in any action RPG game that respects itself, the itemization is absolutely horrible. It's terrible. It's really, really bad in every possible way you can think.
This is doubled up because this is not just your regular game like in this genre.
Yeah.
Diablo was always a looter.
Yeah.
This is like in the title. It's a looter. This is how you call it.
Yes.
If the loot is shit in a looter, then the entire
Yeah.
game is shit.
Listen, I haven't played it in a very long time. I've played season 1 in the beginning when the game launched. This was 3 or 4 months ago, maybe more. And since then, I think it's now launching season 3 or 4. I don't even remember.
It's fucking live service.
And now it's terrible. And every season is worse than the other, the previous one, pretty much. And now that the game is like, it has a few months in it, and it's been, it's been like consistently shed on, I'd say, online. Blizzard, in their infinite wisdom, after Bobby Kotick left and after they got bought by Microsoft, decided to double down on their anti-consumer shitty practices as of late, as of the last decade or so, and made their cosmetics prices so expensive. Okay, and I'm talking about stuff like changing the color of the portal that you use to go home. That costs $40.
What?
Sorry. No. I'm sorry. $30. I threw an extra $10.
What?
It's only $30 to change the color.
And I gave Mortal Kombat shit for charging $10 for a fatality.
For a fatality, yeah. And listen to this. This is great. Buying you have a horse bundle that costs $65.
Isn't that more than the game?
Yes, it is. So wait, no. The game is $70. It cost $70 when it came out. So
okay, so it's almost.
It's almost as the game. Yes.
We're talking about a cosmetic.
A bundle of a horse.
What, like a horse armor?
Yeah, a bunch of armors. I guess it's a bundle, so you get a whole lot of value for your $65.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now it's got tangible value.
Yes, especially with the inflation right now, it's amazing. It's a fantastic value for your money.
These corporations have no shame.
No, there's no shame anymore. There was a time Blizzard at least tried to pretend to give a shit.
They give a shit, yes.
I thought maybe after Kotick left, maybe they'll relax a bit.
Him?
That's great. That's a very good question. I'm happy you asked it. Microsoft replaced Bobby Kotick with basically the ex-CEO of the NFL and Call of Duty franchises. If you know anything about the NFL...
Whoa. What does the NFL
From
have to
Activision.
do?
From Activision.
Oh, NFL game, like
Yes.
computer game.
Yes.
Because I was gonna ask what is the relation.
No relation. The games that...
So they promoted from
EA,
inside the company.
The EA NFL games that
They
come
promoted from inside the company.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, from Activision, not from
I'm
Blizzard.
surprised.
They
This goes because one of the biggest promises they made was we're gonna change the culture of the company.
Wait. Let me be more precise. I think I misled you a bit. They didn't replace Kotick with her. They replaced the CEO of Blizzard with that woman I mentioned. That was the CEO of the franchise of Call of Duty.
And then NFL.
I don't know who replaced Bobby Kotick himself. I think it's gonna be Phil Spencer, the guy the head of the Xbox division in Microsoft.
Yeah.
Very good dude, by the way. If you want to talk about the CEOs usually CEOs of those companies, he's an actual gamer. He actually plays games. So that's already sets him apart from most of the
How
others.
do you know?
Oh, I heard countless interviews with him and him talking about games.
Him saying he's a gamer does not make him a
Nah,
gamer.
you can tell, man. The stuff that you can't fake. You can tell when someone is excited about a game or not. Again, and it's not easy, it's not difficult to do it in the climate where most CEOs are just money people. He's also a money person. He's a businessman first, but you can tell he at least has a passion for gaming, and he tries to, do pretty. Let's just say I know you're gonna throw back at me the Witcher line, but he is definitely the lesser evil. Definitely the lesser of evils for sure.
I'd rather not choose at all.
Yeah, I know. Where were we? Sorry.
I asked who the CEO.
So I think Phil Spencer right now is a placeholder until they'll find someone else, because that's basically, correct me if I'm wrong, the guy who's the head of Bobby Kotick was also acting as the CEO of Activision.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but he was the head honcho of everything, of the whole thing.
That's right.
Yeah, so I don't know who's going to replace him, but right now I think it's Phil Spencer. But
I think they're gonna keep Phil Spencer there. I don't think.
I don't know, but if it's Phil Spencer, I don't know how he agreed to put the woman that was like in in charge of fucking NFL and Call of Duty franchises, which is exactly what you don't need right now in the leadership of Blizzard. You want to steer away from that. But maybe she'll surprise us. Maybe that she did what she did there because that was what was required of her.
Look, if Microsoft only cares about King,
I don't know that. That's our theory. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? We're theorizing by how the industry is working.
Yeah. King is where the money is.
Yes.
Blizzard, is it even profitable anymore?
Yeah, it is. I mean, Diablo Immortal.
Is that still a thing?
It's on mobile.
Is it making money?
Yeah, they're making it.
Well, if it's on mobile, then it's King.
I mean, they're starting to steal the monetization scheme of Diablo Immortal with those ridiculous prices on bundles all of a sudden. That means they're shameless, A. B, and there are stupid people who buy this stuff. Whales. There are whales. By the way, probably people at our age range, because you don't have children who has money to spend on this shit. They don't have enough money for that shit. So it's people who are pretty much, they have money, man. The money is not an issue for them, especially at these times that we live in right now. So those are...
I don't know, some children get there. Just,
I mean, sure, rich children.
Stupid, not just rich, or with stupid parents.
Yeah, there's no shortage of that, for sure. But I'm saying, I think the whales, the people who are getting catered for, that Blizzard are catering to with these stupid, ridiculous horse bundles, are the whales, man. Are the whales. That's what I think. Anyways, yeah, so $65, man, and you get a horse bundle. What do you think about that? Is that a good deal, in your opinion?
I refuse to even put a dime into the game without all this stuff. Anything that has a live service in it can go fuck itself, in my opinion.
Did you hear that Subnautica 2, the developers of Subnautica 2, they announced that Subnautica, the developers of the first game, announced Subnautica 2, the sequel, and then they made the mistake of calling it a game live service game, and they immediately backtracked because of the outlash of the community. Immediately they said, no, we didn't mean it like that. Yeah. It just means we're gonna have consistent updates for the game, just like the first game. Don't worry, guys, it's so good.
Yeah, I've seen the consistent updates for the first game.
Hey, listen, the first game, even though it had a game-breaking bug that both of us got encountered and made us uninstall the game and not return to it ever again, I can't deny that up until that bug, it was a very, very good game.
Yes,
very good.
The story was very compelling. The environment was amazingly well, hand-drawn, and it was.
It felt like a really alien world.
But this was tailored. The environment was tailored to the story and your progression. This is a survival game that made the hand-holding very, very good.
Yeah.
It wasn't too much hand-holding, but it was enough hand-holding that it kept you in the right direction most of the time. And it became gradually harder, and the items were very good. It was a very good game mechanically, except for that fucking bug.
That bug that basically halts your progression.
If you have a game-breaking bug, you have to fix it when your game is Iron Man game, where you have one save, and if you forget the bug, you're fucked.
Yeah, it was horrible.
This is stupid design.
I mean, they fucked up, but hey, they're an indie company, right? Back then, I think they were an indie company. I don't think they are anymore. They got a publisher, so they're by definition.
They lost my faith.
I mean, did they though?
Yes, I won't buy it.
Just because of that one bug?
Yes, I didn't try the expansion, which also got praised.
Yeah, they said it
frozen something, whatever.
It's not as good, but yeah.
And I didn't try it, and this one too. I don't
know, man. I'm still, even though I agree with everything you said, I can't say that I won't recommend it. If anyone who likes survival games, it's one of the best survival games ever created, in my opinion. Even with the bug comes literally pretty near the end of the game, you gotta admit.
No?
It's relatively near the end. I don't want to spoil anything with it. I don't want to say what happened.
I don't know if it was near the end.
I'm telling you, I checked. It was relatively near the end of the game. Of course, the game is as long as you make it, right? Because it's a survival game.
No, but there's a story.
Yes, there's a story, but you can just go and build your base for and mine items for hours without progressing the story. That's what I mean. But that's why this game is so good, because the gameplay is the main thing in it. It's not the story, in my opinion. Survival games are about the gameplay first. Then it's about...
No, but this is a narrative survival.
It is, but again, I don't know. Again, maybe it's how I view those games. Games like not just survival games, but roguelike games. I find the plot is the least interesting factor in those games. It's all about the gameplay for me because it's a repetitive loop that you need to get addicted to, basically. And if that doesn't work, it doesn't matter what the plot is. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So, and I find that the games I can't even remember a game that is a survival game or a roguelike game that I was heavily invested in the character or the plot. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's interesting to know what's going on, but you know, it's not the main factor. It's not the reason I play the game.
Yeah.
Like in a game like Baldur's Gate, the story is one of the most important aspects.
It's everything.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about that. Anyways, anything else we want to mention other than we're gonna talk about Diablo 4 cosmetics prices in a more focused content about it. We just wanted to mention it. Also, it's been a very rough year for 2024.
Who's saying it's
still going. We should mention this.
We're a month into the year.
Yeah, wait. Well, I mean, we're in
a month and a half. 15th of February.
We're in 15th of February right now,
and it's a long February this month.
Yeah, episode 1 of Midgame Life Crisis recorded in 15th of February 2024, and as of this date, there were massive layoff and canceled games.
Yep.
Basically, it started from the
and big franchises.
Very big franchises. Deus Ex got canceled.
Deus Ex, yeah. It's huge.
I know Bungie let go of their composer.
We'll discuss this on a more focused way.
Yeah,
too. There's no point in.
Exactly. But it's been a rough year for gaming, and it's very sad because 2023 was like a record year profit-wise and critically wise with Baldur's Gate and many other very good games that came out.
Lots of big names came out.
And even though
Starfield, Baldur's Gate,
and even though
Cyberpunk,
even though most of those games were very, very successful, both in their sales and their critical acclaim, the layoffs are absolutely brutal all across the industry. It's just it's kind of sad that there should be some sort of correlation between success and job security, and there's no correlation at all.
Nope.
It's almost random. It's horrible.
Blizzard used to report record-breaking revenue every year and
then
still
let
lay
go
off
people,
1,000 people.
But the number there. I think they laid off nearly 2,000 people already.
Nothing now. I'm saying usually they would lay off like 1,000 people and still say they've made the most money.
Yeah, it's crazy what's going on right now. The gaming industry is in a very vulnerable place right now. It's kind of crazy to say that. Can we finish it? Let's finish it.
All right. So, this was Midgame Life Crisis, episode 1.
I'm Inconsistency.
I'm Werewolf.
And we will see you next time, both in short content and once a month, a podcast. Yeah, leave us, all the usual YouTube shit, the likes, the comments, the shares, blah, 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 blah.
Please subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel. It's going to be pretty relatively active, and with time, it will get more active. That's our hope, especially if we get good feedback. Even bad feedback, any feedback. Feedback is good, period. So, yeah.
See ya.
See ya.